and welcome back. Today we'll be making cream cheesecake, which has been posted on the channel before, but this time we're gonna make it Christmas cheesecake. So let's get to it. When we first start, we'll work on the first part, which is the biscuit base for the cheesecake. So right here I have 400 grams of digestive biscuits, which I used a mincer to make it into crumbs looking like this. And so it was 400 grams. Now we'll be adding in 130 grams of melted butter, which is also equivalent to half a cup of melted butter. So just pour it in. And mix everything. So the point of having melted butter is just to make sure that the crust actually stays in place when you add it to your pan. Alright, so once we've completed adding in the butter, I'll just scrape off just a bit of balance that I have. So once we've added in the butter, we can then proceed to add in 1 teaspoon of honey. Okay, so I got the honey over here. So we'll be adding in 1 tablespoon. So all my measuring spoons are plastic, and we don't use plastic for honey, so I'll be taking as 1.5 teaspoons instead. So one, a little bit. Okay, so if you accidentally add in a little extra, it's fine, because honey actually sweetens the biscuit base that this will be used for. Right? So I'll just let that fall in and continue mixing the whole thing. And once we have mixed this, we can actually put it straight to our cake pan, which we'll be using to bake later. So you can see the texture, it's stickier, it's starting to stick to each other, which is actually the goal that we are wanting to achieve. Right? If you just, without adding in butter or honey, the biscuit base will be very crumbly and you won't be able to stick it to the edges of your pan. Right, I'll just scrape this in. So now we'll be we're moving all the biscuit crumbs to the pan, and this is the pan that I'll be using for baking. So you can see that I've actually buttered the whole pan, as we usually do. So you can easily just use a butter spray or just regular butter and just spread it across, make sure everything is all evened out when you add in the butter so that it actually sticks. Then I'll just add in the biscuit crumbs here. So our main intention of this is to actually make sure when we add in the biscuit crumbs that we make it even, the base, and we'll also be we'll make the base even, and then we'll be using just the extras to press against the edges. So I'll just put in a lot first so it's easier to visualize it. Alright, so I'm actually done with the biscuit base. I do not intend to finish using everything because I'm using a smaller baking pan this time to make my cheesecake. So this will do for now, and let me just show you a zoomed in version of how this looks, just for yourself to look at when you actually try to make this. So hold on 1 second. So this is it. It's fully layered already, and you can see generally a little thick. So just nice. Alright. Alright, so now for part 2. We'll be making the cheese filling. So grab yourself another bowl that we'll use, and for this we start off first with cream cheese. So I'm using this brand that I got from the supermarket in Malaysia, OK Gold. Right, so we'll need 600 grams. The biggest size that they have for this is only 500 grams, so you would need to get, for myself I got 1.5 small packets, and they actually make it really easy because, let me just zoom in here, you can see that they do specify how many grams at each interval here, so you can easily just cut it open and you don't need any secondary device to measure how much 100 grams is. Alright, then next we will need sugar. I have it in my container over here, sugar. So that will be 1 cup, which is also equivalent to 200 grams. We would also need vanilla essence. Here, this will only be 1 teaspoon of vanilla essence. Next is cornstarch. We would need 1 tablespoon or 14 grams of cornstarch. Next, you'll need a lemon. So you'll just need to get the zest. We'll need the lemon zest. So that will be 1 teaspoon. Next, we would need yogurt. So plain yogurt in Malaysia, you just take note to see yogurt biasa. As it states here, don't get strawberry yogurt or any flavored yogurt that there is. Make sure you get yogurt biasa or plain yogurt. Next, we will also have whipping cream. So I'm using this brand and Bob. I got the smallest one that they have. This is 200 ml, but we'll only need 180 ml for this, right? So do take note that in supermarkets they actually do have 2 types. One is for cooking, so make sure just take a screenshot of this so you know which one to actually buy when you actually do go to the supermarket to make this. And that's all, so we can start now. Alright, so I'm going to just cut open this cream cheese and add it into our bowl. Alright, so I've mixed by hand the cream cheese, and now I've added in 200 grams of sugar, and it'll just mix it. So when it comes like this, it's just nice. Alright, so once we have it mixed, then we'll add in whipping cream. So 180 ml. Make sure when you add in the whipping cream, it's chilled. It's not at room temperature. So this is how the texture looks like currently. Okay, now we can add in eggs. Alright, so now we'll just add in the eggs. 4 eggs, and we'll be adding it one at a time. So add in the egg, mix it around. Alright, so I've already mixed all the eggs. Now we'll mix the plain yogurt. So let me just open it up. 1/4 cup of plain yogurt. So 1/4 cup, just nice. Make sure the texture is smooth, nothing lumpy. Now I'm adding in 1 teaspoon of lemon zest. I just scraped it. And just mix everything. It'll give it a nice touch to this cheesecake when you add lemon zest. After you mix it, then now you can add in 1 teaspoon of vanilla essence. So let me just add that in. Alright, finish up the whole bottle. Perfect. And lastly, we would add in 1 tablespoon of cornstarch. 1 tablespoon. So before I add it in, I'll just go and grab my sieve so I can sieve it before I add it into the batter. Alright, so 1 tablespoon cornstarch, corn flour, whichever you call it. Just sieve it. Okay. Then mix it, and really that's all the ingredients that you need to make this cream cheesecake. Once you've mixed everything and made sure that the batter is nice and smooth, and if it's not smooth enough, go and grab your hand mixer and just mix it, and then it's ready to go into our pan for baking. Alright, so I'll just continuously mix this and I'll be back. Okay, so now that the batter is already all mixed, so the last thing for us to do is actually to just put it inside our pan, and then we can put it straight into the oven.
Let every heart prepare him.
drop it into the oven.
Okay, so I've added in the cake, and also take note when you bake, just add in a little bit of water underneath when you bake it.